Okay, sorry guys. I've never done this one before where I don't send y'all a link to interact with me. So I wasn't sure if y'all were on or not. I can't really tell. I sent a message to Colleen and Ann to see. Um, Chris Casco, if you could message me and let me know if you're on, message me on Facebook. Because as long as you're on and some of your team is on, I'm going to go ahead and get started. But I didn't want to get started before a certain number of people got on the call or this link. So just text me and let me know, because I honestly can't see anything because y'all aren't interacting with me tonight. I'm just doing product overview. Oh, it does say I have 4 viewers. I'm trying to figure, oh, it says I have 5 viewers. It does show me that. Okay. I wonder how I could see who. I don't think I can tell. I can't see who my viewers are. Okay. So I'm just going to go ahead and get started since I have multiple viewers. Sorry, guys. I'm just trying to check out new technology every now and again. And this really kind of helps me. So there was an overwhelming response, I think, from a lot of people on Colleen's team that really just feel like they are at a point where they really want to grow their business, but they don't feel confident in their knowledge base of all the products. And so that's what I'm doing tonight. Give me a thumbs up, guys, if y'all can hear me okay, if you can see me. This is very strange for me because I can't interact with you guys. So just give me a thumbs up if y'all are cool, and I'll continue. I just don't want to keep going if no one can hear me or see me or anything else. So I'm just waiting for, I think it's 7 of you on here. I'm just waiting for a few of you to give me a heads up. I think I see Colleen. She's trying to respond. If she says, yeah, she can see me, then I'm going to go ahead and keep going. Okay, Sarah, thanks, Sarah, for the thumbs up. Okay, so this is the very, very detailed product overview that I did as a presentation for a very long time. I did not do it when I was in Indiana because I just try to venture out and do new things because I get tired of talking about the same thing over and over again. Colleen seems to be pretty excited about this particular presentation, even over the one that I did in Indiana. And so this is not my full presentation, but this is my product overview. So it is very detailed. So just kind of listen, and you can take some keynotes for the high points that you hear, but by no means feel like you need to memorize all this, because this is not at all what I tell everybody when I talk to them, but I give them a very condensed version of this, okay? So Plexus Slim is the first product I'm going to talk about. It was originally created for type 2 diabetics, and the goal of Plexus Slim was simply to stabilize blood sugar. What they found when they started testing this product on type 2 diabetics was that every single one of the patients in the study lowered their blood sugar, lowered their cholesterol, bad cholesterol, lowered their blood pressure, lowered their triglycerides, which are your fat levels, and their lipid levels. And the side effect happened to be weight loss, okay? And so from there, they were like, if we are having this much success with just diabetic patients and them stabilizing their blood sugar and having all these other crazy side effects, great side effects from just stabilizing blood sugar, then let's do the same study with people who are non-diabetic. So they did, and what they found was the same thing. Okay, so that's how this product became marketed as a weight loss product. They did not want to market it as a diabetic potion or diabetic medication. They didn't want to market it as such because if you know anything about the FDA approval process, it is very, very stringent, and the process for marketing vitamins and supplements is also very stringent. It's actually more strict, just so you know, because you're going to have a lot of naysayers coming to you and saying, oh, is it FDA approved? And we can talk about that if you want. But the FDA approval costs millions and millions and millions of dollars because a lot of money has to go out for these studies, so to speak. And it still doesn't, when something is FDA approved, it's still not deemed to be safe for consumption. And if you didn't know, things like cigarettes are FDA approved. So I don't have a lot of credence or have a lot of faith in something being FDA approved, but a lot of people do because that's just the right thing to say. That's all they know. But bottom line is they didn't want to go through that process because they wanted this product to be available to a massive number of people, to help them stabilize blood sugar, which would ultimately help to reverse a lot of type 2 diabetes patients' diagnoses and to get people healthier. They also they chose the marketing model of network marketing instead of choosing to market it through commercials and getting, their products in the shelves of CVS and Walgreens and Walmart, because word of mouth is the best form of advertisement. And so they wanted personal testimonies to sell this product. They didn't want them to sit on the shelves of some generic product that's in Walmart or Walgreens or CVS and GNC, and no one would really know to purchase this product. So when you really think about it, it was a genius business plan on the part of the executives to go the network marketing route, instead of doing a traditional way of marketing a product. And if you do a little bit of research on network marketing, a lot of people, like Rodan Fields is a big skincare company. The product developers were the doctors that created Proactive. And Proactive is something you can buy anywhere, but Rodan Fields is not. And so they chose to go to market Rodan Fields in the direct selling model because of that. So I digress a little bit, but y'all probably needed to know that too. So I hope y'all give me a thumbs up and okay with that, because I tend to go off on the deep end and talk about a whole bunch of random stuff. So that's how Plexus became known as Plexus Slim, which is a weight loss supplement. I personally don't like the fact that it's called Plexus Slim, because in my opinion, it gives the impression that it's all about getting slim and skinny. And that's not really what Plexus is about. Plexus Slim, the drink, is good for anybody because it's all about total body regulation. You have a lot of hormone balancing that happens, general body balancing. So when people ask me to describe Plexus, I say Plexus is a total body regulator. There are people who have gained weight on Plexus. I have a friend in Iowa. She's got a team there. She's a senior gold ambassador, and her husband was very scrawny his whole life, has always wanted to gain weight, and he was on Slim, X Factor, and ProBio 5 and gained 22 pounds with Plexus. So it's not accurate to say that Plexus Slim is only for weight loss, because it's not. It's really about total body balancing and body regulation, okay? Body system regulation. So when you drink the Slim, it breaks down sugars in your body. It filters through the liver before it hits the pancreas. And when your pancreas isn't overworked, your body naturally starts to release excess stored up fat from your body. The more water you drink, the quicker you're going to flush out the excess fat and sugars from your body, which is why we always say, if you're going to do Plexus and do it the right way, you've got to be drinking half your body weight in ounces of water, up to 100 ounces a day, okay? Your body is made up of 80% water, so it needs to be well hydrated in order for your body to function properly. And that's with or without Plexus. That's just a general rule of thumb. Everybody should know that. Most people don't think that you have to drink as much water as you're supposed to, which is half your body weight in ounces of water, though. So I'm going to move on now to our 2 fat burners. Okay, that's Plexus Slim. The fat burners are Accelerator Plus and Boost. Okay, I don't talk a lot about them because these are the 2 products that I feel like you should never start off anybody with. A lot of people are very hard-headed, and they're like, "Well, I'm going to need to lose weight fast. So if this is going to accelerate weight loss, I'm going to take Accelerator and Boost, or Accelerator or Boost." They are not to be taken together. Okay. People haven't died if they took it together, because people do take them together, but you're not instructed to take them together. It's either Accelerator or Boost. The problem is that Accelerator and Boost are both great products. Okay, there's absolutely nothing wrong with them, but Accelerator and Boost have natural caffeine in them, and so depending on how that person responds to natural caffeine, it is very likely that if you don't instruct them on how to take it and to gradually move into Accelerator and Boost, and to gradually take it when they have gotten something on their stomach, just don't take it on an empty stomach. Some people will have, a jittery feeling, heart racing, that type of thing. And no one's died off of Plexus, so don't get nervous about that. But they start feeling like, oh my gosh, I'm having heart palpitations. What's happening? And so you just have to be real careful. And so that's why I don't like that to be the person's first introduction to Plexus, because Accelerator Plus and Boost are both really, it's an individual type of reaction type product. Because of the natural caffeine in it. None of our other products have caffeine. It's a negligible amount in Slim, so you would never know. It's not even enough to put on the packaging, honestly, because it's less than a cup of decaf coffee. So Accelerator Plus and Boost, the difference between the 2, They're both companion products to Slim, so they're supposed to be taken with Slim. They're not supposed to be taken by themselves. Accelerator Plus helps to speed up weight loss and helps overcome those weight plateaus. It speeds up the metabolism and it suppresses your appetite. You take 1 to 2 capsules with 1 stick of Slim. That's after you've put something on your stomach, though. And the combination of the ingredients really works synergistically to help you lose weight and to accelerate the weight loss. Don't panic if you don't get results immediately, because it may work on some of your hormone issues first. And that's really, really big, specifically with Accelerator Plus. And this is a big one. It has 5-HTP in it. 5-HTP is an amino acid, and it's really, really known for helping to get people to, it's a mood enhancer, essentially. It's a mood enhancer. It's amino acid, natural amino acid that is a mood enhancer. So a lot of people who are on anxiety meds or antidepressants, a lot of times they get help with their Accelerator Plus. They get help with lifting that depression with Accelerator Plus. And some people have been able to get, lots of people have been able to get off of their anti-anxiety and their depression medication because of Plexus. I believe more so in particular to the triplex combo, because again, there's a gut and brain connection, there's a mind and gut connection, and a lot of depression stems from imbalancing in the gut, okay, and candida and dysbiosis. If you have clients or prospects or friends who are on blood pressure medications, they really should shoot their ingredient list to their pharmacist or their doctor, because a lot of times the blood pressure medication, it could interact with them having, their heart racing and stuff like that. My sister, who lives in Atlanta, she takes blood pressure medication, and she was taking the Accelerator just fine. It didn't affect her. So I'm not saying that you can't, but I am saying that it is something that you have to look into. Hold on just 1 second. Go upstairs. Go. No. Go upstairs and ask Grandma. Go ask Grandma now. Do not come back in this room. I'm locking the door. I'm so sorry. Okay, so Plexus Boost is an alternative companion to Slim as well. It's formulated to energize your life. So essentially, it's a thermogenic blend. Thermogenic means it heats up the body, thermo. And essentially, it's going to do the same thing as Accelerator, just completely different ingredients. So some people are going to respond better to Accelerator Plus. Some people respond better to Boost. They say, and again, this depends on every single person. It's individual basis. But for the most part, and speaking in generalities, most people who don't have a sedentary lifestyle, if they work out on a pretty good basis, Plexus Boost works better for people like that. If you are pretty sedentary, you work in a desk job, you're not moving around a lot, you don't get a lot of exercise, Accelerator Plus, generally speaking, has worked better for those individuals. So again, you got to look at both of these products on a very individual basis, because everybody's body responds completely differently to it. Okay, so the big product that I'm really going to delve into tonight is ProBio 5, okay? And this product is really, really important for you to understand why it works the way it does, because it's such a game changer product, okay? So detoxification is really often neglected. It's underestimated and overlooked in the healing arts when you're just talking about homeopathic care and natural medicine and not Western medicine, okay? But most health professionals really understand that a sick body is a toxic body, okay? But if you really understand what doctors are, their job is to put a Band-Aid on symptoms. Their job is not to get to the root cause of issues in your body, okay? That's not how they're trained, okay? So we are all born with the fungus in our colon, okay? It's a very small amount, okay? This mold, fungus, candida, they're all these words that I'm going to be using are interchangeable. But we are all born with the fungus in our colon. Scientists have said that the fungus, the very small amount that we're born with in our colon, is for decomposition when we die. So when you think about a tree, okay, and imagine a tree that is in the woods and it's overtaken. The bottom of the tree is just overtaken. All at the top is overtaken with fungus, okay? And that fungus just is starting to take over the roots and the base of that tree. When that happens, eventually that tree is going to die and it's going to come right back down to the ground, okay? And that's what happens when you have this overgrowth of yeast. Okay, now don't think that I'm being super morbid. I'm not saying that you're just going to croak over and die if you have an overgrowth of yeast, but your body just starts to decompose and starts to attack itself, honestly, on the inside. Okay. And a lot of people don't even know this is happening to them because they don't even know what dysbiosis or Candida albicans is. Okay. But when you think about your immune system, 80% of your immune systems, between 70 and 80% of your immune system is tied to your gut. Okay. So making sure that your gut health is in check is extremely important because your whole immune function most of it is connected to your gut. So once you take an antibiotic, and there's 4 different environmental factors that I talk about a lot, but once you take an antibiotic for whatever reason, it not only kills off the good bacteria, but it also kills off the bad gut bacteria, okay? And the problem with that is that you want that bad bacteria to be killed off, okay? You don't want all of it to be killed off because you were born with a very small amount of it, but you definitely don't want your good bacteria to be to diminish, okay? And that happens when you get on antibiotic. If you have a really good doctor, a doctor is going to tell you, I'm going to prescribe to you this 3-day Z-Pack of this 10-day amoxicillin, but you really, really, really need to get on a quality probiotic. That's what a good doctor would tell you. Well, most doctors are not telling their patients that. And more you're going to start seeing them talking to their patients that way because there's more and more scientific research out there that's really coming to the forefront in the general public about gut health and how probiotics really should be considered a modern day multivitamin. Okay. So now, once this antibiotic kills off the good and bad gut bacteria, you have this dead bacteria floating around in your colon. And fungus essentially likes to eat off of dead matter. So another reason why we should detoxify our bodies is not just because we take too many antibiotics in this country, but we have a lot of chronic stress, okay? And stress on the body it's bad in general. Chronic stress is bad on the body. Another thing is pollution in the air, but one of the biggest environmental factors, and the 4th environmental factor is overconsumption of processed foods. We do not eat real food anymore. We eat so many things that have preservatives, meats that are laden with antibiotics, just antibiotic fed meat. There's tons of artificial sweeteners in the things that we eat. 30 years ago, when they started going in this fat-free campaign and they started taking the fat out of food, the biggest problem with that, when you take the fat out of food, is it tastes like cardboard. It doesn't taste like anything. But what they realized was they said, okay, well, we took the fat out of food, so we've got this big, label we can put on it saying it's fat-free, and that's going to make people want to buy it. But it can't taste like cardboard, otherwise they're not going to buy it again. So we're going to just throw some sugar in there, and we're going to call it something different. So that's when you started seeing all these extra aliases or alternative names or euphemisms for sugar, sucralose, high fructose corn syrup, all kinds of stuff, okay? And so that then posed a problem because now you've got a huge problem in this country with dysbiosis, meaning an imbalance of good gut bacteria and bad gut bacteria. The general balance should be 80% good gut bacteria and 20% bad. But now our bodies are mostly reversed. We have more bad gut bacteria than we do good gut bacteria, and that's a serious problem. So essentially what happens when you've got this overgrowth of bad gut bacteria, it starts to weaken the lining of your cell wall, your GI wall, your gastrointestinal wall, okay? So your colon should really be considered a steel trap where nothing can pass through it. But what happens is that over time, your GI wall starts to thin out, and that's what we call intestinal permeability. So you start to see little bitty holes in that intestinal wall. Again, the scientific term is intestinal permeability. So that means things can permeate through the cell wall, okay, the GI wall. But the problem is that instead of being a steel door, like I said, your colon should be considered a steel trap or a steel door. Instead of being a steel door where nothing can pass through it, when you start to have signs of leaky gut or intestinal permeability, then your colon or your GI wall starts to look like a screen door. And that screen door, it just means little bitty food particles, undigested food particles, toxins, and parasites. They can start to seep into your bloodstream. And that's when you start to have signs of leaky gut. So this is something I always talk about in my presentations. I always just call out these 9 signs of leaky gut because you always know somebody who's suffering from one of these issues. And so I really like to describe what are 9 common signs that you may be suffering from leaky gut or an overgrowth of candida in your gut. And candida is the bad yeast that we're talking about, Candida albicans. One is digestive issues, gas, bloating, constipation, diarrhea, or irritable bowel syndrome. Okay. If you have seasonal allergies or asthma, frequent sinus infections is a big sign as well. If you have hormonal imbalances such as PMS or PCOS, a lot of women are suffering from PCOS. It's called polycystic ovarian syndrome. It's where you have cysts on your ovaries, and a lot of women are not able to get pregnant, and they're not ovulating because they've got these cysts. Diagnosis of an autoimmune disease such as rheumatoid arthritis, Hashimoto's, thyroiditis, lupus, psoriasis, or celiac disease. Number 5, if you have a diagnosis of chronic fatigue, feeling tired or worn down, or if you are diagnosed with fibromyalgia. 6, mood and mind issues such as moodiness, lack of focus, brain fog, depression, anxiety, ADD, or ADHD. If you have skin issues such as acne, rosacea, eczema, or psoriasis, I think I said that earlier. If you have a formal diagnosis of candida overgrowth. And the 9th one is if you have food allergies or food intolerances, okay? Now, the removal of toxic waste in your system is best done by removing accumulated fecal matter from the bowel, changing the diet from a toxin-producing process to that of an elimination or cleansing diet, fasting, colonic flushing, and enemas, cleansing the mind of old habit patterns. However, this rarely happens based on the willpower that most people have. They just, our hectic lifestyles, are just what we do on a daily basis, just the crazy ripping and running kids back and forth, working full-time jobs, both parents, both adults in the household working. It's impossible to do these things that I'm talking about, which is what natural medicine would suggest you do to remove this toxic waste from your system. Okay. But a lot of people aren't willing to do enemas. Okay. So that's when ProBio 5 and BioCleanse really comes into play. ProBio 5, they both really, and I talk about them like they're a combo, because they both really act like superheroes for your immune system. The ProBio 5 is used to clean the body and restore its normal functions by getting rid of candida overgrowth. And our probiotic is an antifungal, which means it has agents and specific digestive enzymes that fight the candida and kill off the bad stuff and repopulate the good stuff. So a lot of people will ask you, and you need to go back, honestly, if you're not friends with me on Facebook, go and friend me and look at the latest post that I did on probiotics. I did that today, a post today. But most people think, oh, well, I have a probiotic. I got one at Walmart or GNC or the health food store. And I'm not saying that all probiotics, all the other probiotics are bad, but they're just not as good as ProBio 5. So all probiotics, their job and their function is to restore healthy bacteria, repopulate healthy bacteria in your system, which is great, okay? That's the purpose of a probiotic. Our probiotic happens to do something else, though. It not only repopulates good gut bacteria, but it also kills off bad gut bacteria. And that's the difference. That's the big one, okay? Because people will be like, oh, I'm already on a probiotic, I'm good. But if you ask them, do you really tell a difference? Do you have less bloating, less brain fog, better sleep, fewer food cravings? Are you less lethargic? Have you cleared up your skin issues? The ProBio 5 is doing that for people, and the proof is in the pudding. Just read the testimonials. ProBio 5 is doing that for people because it's dealing with the problem of Candida albicans, which is the bad gut bacteria that's completely out of balance with the good gut bacteria. It should be like this with good and bad, 80-20. It's now like this for most people who eat a standard American diet. So that's really the difference between ProBio 5 and other probiotics on the market, okay? And that specific digestive enzyme, exactly, it's called chitosanase, Chitonase, I think, or Chitonasase. So look that up, do some research on it if you want to. But essentially, when your body and immune system is working properly, your body really begins to heal itself. And that's the reason why ProBio 5 is essential for people, especially if you've got any of those 9 signs of leaky gut or if you have an autoimmune issue. Because a lot of people are like, okay, there's leaky gut. Okay, so you've got this candida overgrowth. If you don't treat candida overgrowth and you continue to have this overgrowth of bad gut bacteria in your system, you don't do anything about it, eventually it could lead to and advance to leaky gut, which is intestinal permeability. If intestinal permeability or leaky gut is not addressed, or if you don't even know what's going on in your body, then that can advance and form into something bigger, which are autoimmune issues. And so that's really what happens. So you've got to focus on healing the gut. So when people come to me talking about losing weight, I'm like, look, if you've got all these symptoms that are on this Candida albicans list, you really need to be focused on healing your gut and let the weight loss come secondary. That should be a secondary priority for you. So let's see. A big one too that I don't talk about a lot, it provides relief from typical Candida symptoms, which may include anxiety, recurring irritability, heartburn is huge, indigestion, extreme food and environmental allergies, acne, dry, flaky, itchy skin, migraine headaches is a huge one, recurring cystitis or vaginal infections, and menstrual problems. All of those are things that are typical Candida symptoms that you'll get relief from if you take consistent use of ProBio 5, okay? It causes you to crave carbs and sugar less because, again, you're addressing the root cause, which is Candida overgrowth, okay? Now, BioCleanse. Poor bowel management lies at the root of most people's health issues, and they have no idea that that's the case. To try to take care of any symptom without addressing a good elimination system is completely futile. It's pointless. So if you've got people that you know are suffering from constipation and they don't order ProBio 5, or don't order BioCleanse, they shouldn't even be ordering Plexus because you've got to deal with your elimination system. It's crucial. Back in the day, we knew of our grandmothers that maybe even our moms, my mom in particular did this. She would take care of her bowel by using castor oil, sulfur, and molasses, among other home remedies, drinking prune juice, eating prunes like they're candy. But we don't do those things anymore. And so, unfortunately, many doctors are not teaching people how to live correctly. And this is evidenced really by our government and health departments watching for disease and not preventing disease. Okay, so they're not preventing it. They're just watching for disease and then treating disease, but they're not really preventing disease. So your body becomes increasingly toxic, and proper oxygenation cannot take place in the tissues, okay, if you are not eliminating well because your body's in a toxic state. So without oxygenation, which is another thing BioCleanse really does, it oxygenates the cells, which we'll talk about in just a second. We lack the energy, and we lack just general energy throughout the day, and a tired body continues down this downward spiral. So a tired body is an unhealthy body, okay? So you can carry up to but the average American carries between 5 and 25 pounds of toxic waste in their system at any given moment. That is really sad, and it's kind of gross. If you have a very severe case of toxic backup, you just got this toxic waste stuck in your system, people have carried up to 40 pounds of toxic waste, and it is unbelievable, I know, but just go and watch these 3 documentaries, and I'm telling you, you will be fascinated. Okay, one is Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead. They're all on Netflix. Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead is one. Another one's called Fed Up. It's my favorite one, Fed Up. It's really, really sad, especially if you're an educator and you work with kids. And also watch Food Matters. Okay, those 3 documentaries will really change your perspective, and it will begin to change your prospects and your if you send this information out to people, change your customers' perspective, your friends and family's perspective about the food industry in this country, just Western medicine, all of the above. It's mind-blowing. But again, you can carry up to between 5 and 25 pounds of toxic waste. So even if you do eliminate properly, meaning 2 to 3 times a day, if you're eating 3 times a day, you honestly should be eliminating 2 to 3 times a day. But even if you do feel like, I poop enough, I don't need BioCleanse. Everybody needs BioCleanse. There's other benefits to it besides just keeping you regular, okay? What it says on the bottle is it oxygenates the entire body. That's very true. One of the main ingredients is magnesium, okay? Just go look at magnesium deficiency, and you'll see a slew of things that are associated with magnesium deficiency. Some things you may even be dealing with yourself. So magnesium deficiency is huge, okay? And the main ingredient in BioCleanse is magnesium. When you oxygenate your cells, the great thing about it is you're really taking care of your body. You're doing a lot of preventative care because cancer cells, parasites, toxins cannot thrive in an oxygenated environment. I just posted a very, very in-depth article about how oxygenated cells, cancer cells, can't thrive in oxygenation, okay, in an oxygenated body. So that alone should be, especially if you have a predisposition of cancer in your family or it's genetic, it's so important for you to keep your cells oxygenated. It detoxifies and cleanses the gastrointestinal tract and arteries. It energizes the body physically and mentally. A lot of times, if people take their BioCleanse right before bed, they might be up. That's part of the reason why. It doesn't keep me up, but I take mine in the morning. So honestly, I wouldn't know. But I have taken it at night and I didn't have any troubles. It neutralizes acidic conditions that may promote pathogens. It enhances weight loss. I know that for a fact because there was a time that wasn't even on the pink drink. I was just on 3 of our products, and I went from a size 4 to a 0 at that time. It supports collagen production. So a lot of people say, "Oh gosh, you're glowing. You just look so great. You look younger," because it supports collagen production. Okay, and it obviously relieves constipation. Okay, the next product I'm going to talk about is X Factor. Okay. X Factor is an incredible multivitamin. It's a super turbocharged, aloe patented blend multivitamin. Okay. It has tons of vitamins and minerals, but one of the main ingredients that I love besides the patented aloe blend is the New Zealand black currant, which is a really, really great and strong antioxidant. Okay. It also has lots of B12. And one of the things I wanted to talk to you about B12, a lot of people have B12 deficiency. And people that have B12 deficiency, they have to get B12 injections because B12 is one of the few vitamins that's most difficult to absorb in the body. Okay. One of the great things, somebody did an unofficial scientific study on X Factor when it first came out. She's a diamond ambassador. Her name is Lori Word Harrison. She's called the Fungus Queen in Plexus. You should friend her or follow her on Facebook. She's amazing. But her name is Lori Word Harrison. She is a diamond ambassador, and her mom had a really bad B12 deficiency. So she would go and get her B12 shots all the time. So when X Factor came out, she was like, I really want to see if this works. Are you going to be able to absorb this? And so she happened to have a relative, like a cousin, that owned some sort of like scientific like lab. And so she said, I want you to do a study. I want you to figure out, if mom gets off of these B12 shots, how much her B12 is going to increase. Her B12 levels will increase if she takes X Factor for 60, 90 days. So she did. Her mom took the X Factor, just 2 capsules a day for 60, 90 days. And her B12 levels went up between like 30 and 40%. It was really unbelievable because, again, B12 is one of the hardest vitamins for you to take in and absorb. And so that's the reason why people get B12 shots. Well, with this patented aloe blend, it really proved that the absorption of the vitamins and minerals that you're taking in daily, not only through your supplements, but from the food you're eating, it is increasing the absorption by up to 300%. And that's huge, guys. And so that's the reason why when people take X Factor with the triplex, they call it the Fab 4, they see such great results because not only are you increasing the benefit of the supplements that you're taking, but you're starting to increase the benefits of the foods that you're eating because the vitamins and minerals in the foods, a lot of times we're not even absorbing that into our system. So we think, I'm eating a green leafy salad or a spinach salad. I should be absorbing those vitamins and nutrients. But a lot of times you aren't because your body is vitamin deficient. But that aloe really acts as a taxi driver, and it allows the foods and the minerals that are in your foods, the vitamins and minerals that are in your foods and in the supplements you're taking, it knows which cells in your body are deficient. So if it knows there's a certain cell in your body that's deficient of B12 or deficient of vitamin K, then it's going to act as a taxi driver, and it's going to deliver it to those deficient cells. And so instead of the vitamins that you're taking in just passing through your urine, which a lot of times if you took a daily women's multivitamin or Centrum or something over the counter, a lot of times you would see my pee is so yellow. Why is it so bright? Like, what's the deal? It's because these vitamins are just passing through your urine. They're not getting absorbed into your system. So X Factor is a game changer product that a lot of people don't talk about. Now, Plexus 96. y'all, this is a game changer. And I hate to say game changer again, but I'm telling you, we've been out of Plexus 96 for like 4 or 5 months. It's been crazy. And it's finally back. You got to get some. And I mean, get some to take every day, because if you at all want to do, get rid of some belly fat, this is the way to do it. This is a really weird formula that one of the product developers, he's a doctor, he came up with it, and he realized that if you combine Plexus 96, which is our protein packed snack on the go, it's like a shake. It comes with vanilla and chocolate. That if you combine that with Slim and coconut milk, okay, carrageenan-free coconut milk. Coconut milk is considered a medium chain fatty acid, okay? And a medium chain fatty acid allows you to burn fat faster. Just do a little bit of research on medium chain fatty acids, okay? But taking Slim, Plexus 96, and the coconut milk, which can just be 1 cup of coconut milk, and you can add some strawberries or bananas or whatever to your smoothie. But if you blend that together, and if you can't take the sweetness of the Slim in there, then you should just take your Plexus 96 in the morning and take your Slim right after it. But taking together in the morning, it's said to burn belly fat a lot faster, because you're speeding up the metabolism in the morning. You're getting your 15 grams of protein in through the Plexus 96. Plexus 96 has 15 grams of protein and 96 calories. That's why it's called Plexus 96. It has tons of vitamins and minerals in it. So that, in combination with taking your Slim and taking this medium chain fatty acid through the coconut milk, it's just, people have been getting crazy success with it. So just give it a try, even if you just want to have a protein snack. It's a really, really good, especially if you're not a big breakfast eater. I'm not trying to lose any more weight, but so I don't do that concoction with the medium chain fatty acid, but I do put 1 cup of not coconut milk, dark chocolate almond milk, carrageenan-free almond milk. I think it's silk almond, but it doesn't have carrageenan in it, and it's dark chocolate. And I put 1 to 2 tablespoons of PB2. It's called powdered peanut butter. It's great because it doesn't get all messy like regular peanut butter does in your blender, and it takes like 80% of the fat out of the peanut butter, so it's really great. And then I take 1 Plexus 96. I either use vanilla or chocolate. My favorite is vanilla. I mix the 3, and it's like I'm having a Reese's peanut butter cup. It's so yummy, y'all. You've got to try it. So now that it's back, I would really, if you've got customers that are really wanting to lose weight quick and lose some belly fat, more than anything belly fat, 'cause it's not really weight, it's the fat. It's the fat inches around the gut area, which everybody knows that visceral fat is what kills people. It's what killed my father. And so you've got to get them on this Plexus 96 stuff. It's good stuff, y'all. But again, it comes in 2 flavors, vanilla and chocolate. I feel like I'm talking my face off, but I'm just going to keep going. I'm almost done. Our first product that was created was called our breast check kit. Okay. A lot of people sleep on this product too, but this product is actually very, very effective. And it was very popular. And it was made popular by The Doctor Show. You can just go look up Plexus breast check kit, The Doctor Show, not Dr. Oz. It's called The Doctor Show, which he was like a conglomerate of, or an association with Dr. Oz. But it was featured there on The Doctor Show. The problem with the breast check kit though, is that Plexus was never going to be a $1 billion company with the breast check kit, because the breast check kit is a non-consumable product. I mean, you don't need a new one every month. But essentially, it consists 2 micro-thin layers of polyurethane with a non-toxic lubricant sealed in between. And when the breast check is placed on the breast, the bottom layer gently adheres to the skin and remains stable, allowing the upper layer to slide freely underneath your fingertips. As the upper layer slides freely over the bottom layer, the friction is greatly reduced. So essentially, it gives you sensory touch magnification, which means your sense of touch is greatly increased. So instead of like you feeling for a lump and you got to wait till it gets bigger for you to actually feel it with your naked hand, you would feel it a lot faster with the breast check kit, because it basically magnifies like what would have normally felt like a grain of sand. It'll feel like a grain of rice. So it allows you to detect any lumps that you may have way, way earlier. It's really good for everybody to have one of these in their home. So in October, which is Breast Health Awareness Month or Breast Cancer Awareness Month, I always encourage my teammates and I encourage my friends to buy one, because they're buy one, get one free. So it's a really good deal. So you get one for yourself and then you give another one away, or next year, if you already have one, you buy one, get one free and give it away, or do it as a promotional prize or something for your business. So just a really good breast check kit, something everybody should have in their home. Okay. Now, finally, I'm going to finish up with these last 2. We've got our Plexus body cream. It's huge, guys. A lot of people sleep on this product too. The reason why it's so good has two main ingredients. Just go look up those two main ingredients. Phenomenal reviews on just these two plant-based ingredients. Spirulina algae is one of them. Okay, it's called spirulina algae or spirulina algae, whichever way you want to pronounce it. The other one is activated charcoal. The reason why the bottle is like this small and it's $37 is because that spirulina algae, specifically the activated charcoal, when you open the bottle, it's activating the charcoal, and there's tons of benefits for activated charcoal. But I have had so many clients, I say clients, friends, customers, family members, whatever, have skin problems, rosacea, acne, cystic acne, eczema, adult onset and child eczema, and also psoriasis, big time. And they literally took the ProBio 5 and had the Plexus body cream. So the body cream is working on the outside in, the probiotic is working on the inside out, got rid of their eczema and psoriasis, 6 weeks or less. Guarantee y'all. It's seriously a game changer. So what you need to do when you've got these kids that you know, your friends' kids, whatever, talk to them about this, because the girl, she was one of my classmates back in middle school and high school. She had really bad eczema. I posted about it on my page yesterday. Really, really, really bad eczema all on her hand. She went to the doctor. They gave her really, really strong steroid or antibiotic or something like that, and it did not work. They told her she could only be on it for 2 weeks because if it gets into her bloodstream, it's very dangerous. I'm like, who would even take something like that? But anyway, when you're desperate, you do crazy things, right? So she did for 2 weeks, nothing worked. And then Plexus came along. I told her about Plexus. She finally decided to try it in September. So in July, her hands were all messed up. In September, it took her 3 weeks on ProBio 5 and her hands were completely cleared up. It's a serious, serious game changer, y'all. I don't even think she used the Plexus body cream. It was just ProBio 5. The Plexus body cream also is very good for that. It has a lot of restorative properties as far as revitalizing the skin for both men and women. A lot of people put it head to toe. I put it all on my face. It's good literally for anywhere on the body. The last two products I want, well, no, there's a couple more, sorry. There's Ease Nerve, and then there's Ease Cream, okay? What you need to know about the Ease line, it's for pain relief and inflammation, okay? And a lot of people are suffering from pain. A lot of people are suffering from inflammation, high inflammation levels, which inflammation really is the root cause of a lot of things in the body too. So between gut health and inflammation, it's basically the two precursors for most disease, most things happening in the body, unhealthy things happening in the body. So the Fast Relief, or it used to be called Fast Relief, so that's why I keep saying that, sorry. But the Ease Cream, the cobalt blue bottles, they are used for pain, inflammation, old injuries, arthritis, if you're overworked in a manual labor job. The main ingredient is an extract from a shellfish. So if you are allergic to shellfish, you need to tell your potential customers and stuff to be leery of that if they are allergic to shellfish. Even people who have been allergic to shellfish, they said they've taken it and they've been fine, but I wouldn't want to chance it. I would really play it safe on that one. It's non-narcotic. It's all natural. It's a non-NSAID. This is huge, guys. Most people who are suffering from pain take NSAIDs, ibuprofen, Aleve, etc. And if you've got a bad headache, suffer from migraines, any sort of pain, inflammation, fibromyalgia pain, joint pain, people are just popping Excedrin, Aleve, and Advil, okay? Those are all considered non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs. They are really, really bad for you. They, on the packaging, you can just look at it on the commercial. It'll say may cause internal bleeding and liver damage. That's a general side effect, possible side effect of taking NSAIDs on a regular basis for a long period of time. However, and lots of people do when they're in pain because they just want to be out of pain. But the other thing is that I think they just came out with a study about 2 months ago, it was all over the news, that non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs now also increase your risk of heart attack and stroke. So there's just something you want to avoid if you are in pain and you need something to take on a regular basis. So if you're popping 8 to 10 a day, 6 to 10 a day, it's something you really need to reconsider and try for a more natural alternative. And Ease is it. Ease is a very natural alternative, all natural alternative, okay? Again, the main ingredient comes from an extract of a shellfish, okay? Now, if you are on Ease and you have chronic pain, you really need to start by taking the loading dose. You have to follow the back of the bottle to take the loading dose. And and that's if you've had pain for a long time. You've got to take that loading dose. Once you start decreasing the levels of pain, then you can start to taper back down and get to a normal dosage level where you're only taking maybe 2 or 3 a day. The cream has a minty smell, so after about 5 minutes, it will start to relieve the pain. And believe me, if you have back pain, that type of pain, it is absolutely awesome for that. Okay, tons of testimonies from that as well. So the Ease cream is a topical cream. It works from the outside in. The Ease capsules works from the inside out. The Ease nerve is incredible as well. It is for nerve damage. It's to regenerate new nerve growth factors. So if you know people suffer from neuropathy, carpal tunnel syndrome, pins and needle sensations, they absolutely, you can ask Ann Casco about this. She's got a great testimony. They really need to be considering the Ease nerve for regenerating new nerve growth factor, okay? Now, the last 2 products are Block and our plant-based omega supplement, okay? Block is a carb blocker, okay? It's essentially a carb blocker. So it's going to block the absorption of carbs and starches by up to 48%. It's extremely, extremely beneficial for people who have blood sugar issues because it blocks those carbs and starches from turning into glucose that then turn into fat. So people who have blood sugar issues, this would benefit them as well, even if they're not trying to really block carbs, okay, which all of us really should be, honestly. But I did a video I didn't do a video, I posted a video about Block, and a lady who's another ambassador, she posted a really great scientific explanation of all the benefits of Block. So I encourage you to go back and listen to that if you haven't. Just go and do a search in my team page and search Block, and then that video should come up, okay? It's a real pretty lady does this video and explains the benefits of Block. But essentially, it's a carb blocker. The only thing that you have to remember about carb blocker or our Block is that you have to take it 30 minutes before a meal. So you've got to set a timer. You got to do something to get in a routine with remembering to take this 30 minutes before your meal. Because essentially, what happens, one of the main ingredients is white kidney bean extract, and it's like some sort of seaweed. And the seaweed, when it gets in your system, it begins to expand in your stomach when it hits your stomach. And so that's what the great thing about Block, when I took it, it makes you get full faster. So you are not going to want to finish any of your food. So if you're really trying to lose weight, that's a great way to do it, because you're not going to finish your food. Or you're going to split all your meals in half and save money by eating, half a meal with your husband, or you take it home and eat it the next day. So it's just a really, really good way to get full faster and also block those carbs and starches from turning into fat, okay, if you're eating a high carb or high starchy meal. And finally, the last product is our plant-based omega supplement. It's called Mega X, okay? The reason why it's so good is, first of all, everybody really should be on an omega supplement. You've probably read tons of articles, and your doctor has told you, fish oil is really good for you, and it is. The problem with people taking fish oils is that fish oils are gross. Like, if you have ever taken a fish oil capsule, it's like a gel capsule, and you take it, and you've got this really fishy aftertaste in your breath, and it's just gross. But this is a plant-based omega supplement, okay? So you're not going to have that fishy aftertaste or those fishy burps, okay? So that's a really good thing about our omega supplement. The other really good thing about our omega supplement is not just omega-3 or omega-5. It's omega-3, 5, 7, and 9, and 6. Omega-3, 5, 7, 9, and 6. I feel like it's all 5. I think I said all of them. So it's really, really, really good. I have my daughter on it because I've heard it's really good for brain health. So kids who are suffering from some attention issues, hyperactivity, it really helps them to focus. Okay, my daughter's been on it a couple weeks. She came home with straight A's on her progress report, so she's doing even better in school. And her teachers are happy with her. They say, and she's doing a lot better. I also have my daughter on ProBio 5, obviously, because that helps as well. And the omega supplement, not the omega supplement. She is on the omega supplement, but she's also on BioCleanse and the chewables. And I don't want to forget to mention that. I'm sorry. The chewable vitamins is for kids. So it's just like X Factor, except it's a chewable. It's not a patented aloe blend because you can't put the aloe in a chewable, because the aloe comes in the capsule of the X Factor. So the chewable, the great thing about it, and the reason why I love it, is because, again, the main ingredient is New Zealand extract. But the other thing that's really great about it is that it doesn't have artificial sweeteners, and it does not have red dye. And most children's vitamins have, if they're chewables or gummies, they have either artificial sweeteners or they have red dye. and neither one of them are good for your kiddos. So it's kind of like you're giving them something good, but then you're putting something bad in their body too that they don't need. So I love them. My kids had to acquire a taste for them because they were used to taking their gummies. But I forced them to take it basically. I was like, no, you're going to do this because it's good for you. And my kids didn't get sick not one time last year. They didn't miss not one day of school for illness. So they're really good. And it's just a really powerful antioxidant. New Zealand blackcurrant is. So that's all I've got tonight, guys. I think I kept it under 45 minutes. Yeah, I think I've kept it under 45 minutes. So I appreciate you guys for getting on. I see we have 10 viewers. We've gone bounced kind of around between 9 and 11 viewers all night. So I appreciate you guys for tuning in. This is a huge step in you building your business because product knowledge is huge. I don't expect for you to be an expert in any of this anytime soon, but if you just have a basic working knowledge, a lot of the information it's just gonna start rolling off the tip of your tongue. The more videos you watch, the more testimonials you read, it will really become second nature. But don't let that stop you from growing your business. I didn't know any of this stuff in the beginning. I just told people what I knew. Oh, I read a testimonial about this. Let me send it to you. So I didn't try to give them all the details in the beginning. I just said, I'm new to this. I don't know, but I did read something about that. Let me find it and I'll send it to you. And I shot them a testimony or I shot them an article that I saw. So don't feel like you have to be an expert, okay? I hope this was helpful. I hope everybody has a very blessed Thanksgiving. I appreciate you guys, and I'm looking forward to seeing you guys again. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.